Hey guys, and welcome to my Ghost of Tsushima game review. As usual, I'm going to start off with what I gave it out of 10. Gave it a 9 out of 10. One of the best games I've played in a while. I'm also going to add this time to complete for me. I was playing on normal difficulty. I just wanted to kind of try it out. It took me just under 24 hours with a decent amount of exploring. Towards the end, I did kind of get through it because I wanted to eventually get this review out to you guys. But yeah, let's get into it. So the gameplay is kind of a mix of Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, and Far Cry. I think it's a really good way to put it. You release areas and you gain control back, and that gives you more resources, so on and so forth. Nothing too crazy out of there, but it is really well done. And from there, I'm going to go into my pros of the overall game. So, as is standard with every game I've played so far for a review, the environment is insanely nice and varied. I would love to see what it would be like on next gen. But not only is the environment nice and varied, it's densely populated. There's lots to explore, side missions, interesting characters, that type of stuff. It was also enjoyable to slay multiple enemies. So, like I said, while it is kind of similar to Sekiro and games of that nature, it was more forgiving. You can actually hack down multiple guys decently easily, and it feels really fun to do so. So instead of grinding on one guy for a while, it was kind of more you can combo through and take out an army. It still requires strategy and uses a system of poses and timing to be optimal and really get through without taking too much damage. The unlocking system is also really good. I never felt like I was too strapped or missing important abilities. I thought it was decently quick to find stuff if I found I needed something, I found I could unlock it fairly quickly. Um, Story was one of the best I've played in years. It had a really good mix of happy and sad, serious themes, which I always enjoy. I like when games can get a little deep and full of philosophy. And the side missions and side characters are actually interesting. Usually I tend to skip side missions and avoid side characters because I just don't care. These characters were actually interesting to me, and I enjoyed kind of seeing what was going to happen with those. Um, the cons for the game, big con was a lack of camera lock on. I felt it made the combat a little more difficult than needed to be. This also led to camera issues. Sometimes the camera would clip through objects and enemies and make it very hard to fight. The map also doesn't have a waypoint guide. You can set it and then use the wind to point where you're going, but occasionally I found it led me to ledges and such, and then I'd have to kind of backtrack and work my way around. It was not the best. Looting doesn't feel that rewarding. Like it's fun to go around and like grab stuff if you see it, but it's usually just for like upgrading your armor and stuff. Like you're never gonna find like a super dope sword just sitting in a random bag. Also, the enemy AI is not amazing. There's lots of times where you could kind of just cheese it and go to places and they wouldn't know how to react or like they wouldn't um, trigger properly. And finally, the issues with emotion and animations. So sometimes things would clip. There's a lot of emotion in the game, but the facial animations didn't always match that, and I felt that was kind of too bad. It took away. But overall, I still really enjoyed the game. Like you guys are probably thinking, like, oh, that's a decent amount of cons for a 9 out of 10. But in reality, like some of those would just be nice to have. Like they're things that have kind of been standard in games and would be nice to have, and I think would have made it a 10 out of 10. But the rest of it I can honestly overlook just because the environment's amazing, the characters are amazing, the combat's really fun, and it's one of those things where I wouldn't have put 24 hours into it, and I actually wanted to keep playing. It wasn't one of those things where I felt I had to do it to get a review out or whatever. I actually enjoyed it. But yeah, so like I said, 9 out of 10. I would strongly recommend anyone who likes just sword games, games that require a little bit of challenge. I'm sure it would be pretty difficult. Some of the fights are pretty difficult on normal, so I can only imagine if you crank up the difficulty, if you still like your Bloodborns and stuff like that, I'm sure you can get a kick out of it as well. But if you're also just in it for the story and just kind of want to chill, it's not too abusive and it can still be really fun. I hope you guys found this useful. Please let me know in the comments what you think I should add to my reviews, what you liked, didn't like, any game recommendations, either current, I'll even do older ones. I do have access to most of the consoles and software, so I'd be happy to do that for you guys. And yeah, if you like the content, feel free to subscribe, ring the bell. I know it's been a while. I've been very busy, so it took me a little while to get this video out, but I do hope to get more out for you guys soon. I know it's a little over 5 minutes, but wasn't all review, but hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.